Coming up on ECG, Chinese Superman.
Rita Repulsa's new look.
Pre-order bonus for films.
Ubisoft to punish gamers.
All this and more coming up on the East Coast Geek Podcast. Welcome to episode 65 of the East Coast Geek Podcast for Friday, April 22nd, 2016, where we bring you all the latest news on comics, movies, and gaming. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Opu. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, except I'm looking at like the feed of us now. It looks like I've got like really wide shoulders and like a tiny head, like how they usually draw Kingpin.
It's
obviously with the exception of the beard.
It's the stretch of the camera.
Oh, yeah. The camera does add 10 pounds.
Maybe I'll work on that for the next episode if you're not happy.
I don't know. It depends. People dig wide shoulders, right?
Yeah.
They're sexy. Yeah.
Chicks dig wide shoulders. Perfect.
Chicks dig wide shoulders.
All right.
So wide.
So what's new, man? What have you been up to? I know I've been a little busy, so.
Well, I've been kind of lazy, like I usually am, because I work so hard at my job. If my bosses are watching, I do so much work. But hey, I checked out this new anime that has been. I don't know. I think it's going to be probably the next big thing, or at least for a while.
You heard it here first. Opu's deeming it the next big thing.
Maybe I'm not saying it's going to be the next big thing, but
I'm just putting you on the spot.
Yeah, but if it comes true, then I called it, and I'm the soothsayer. It's called Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. It's currently available. I think it's simulcast where it plays overseas and here at the same time. It's on Amazon Prime right now, Amazon Video. So the first 2 episodes are up if you want to check it out. The plot synopsis is these monsters have appeared during the Industrial Revolution and infects humans with its bite, turning them into Kabani. They're aggressive undead creatures that cannot be defeated unless the heart, which is protected by layers of iron, metal, is pierced. And then so it takes place in Japan on a small island where people build like these fortresses to be protected by they're basically metal zombies, and they travel through with steam trains, heavily armored steam trains from city to city.
How come this sounds similar to the kind of setup that like Attack on Titan has?
That's an excellent question because it pretty much does sound like another version.
Oh, hey, look there it is. Plot is similar to Attack on Titan. I'm sorry, I've spoiled it. My bad.
But I was Spoiler alert! It's like Attack on Titan. You need to get by, dog. Get by. God. Okay, sorry. So yeah, it's kind of like Attack on Titan. Obviously they're not giants, but these Kabani, I forget how to pronounce it. Are very durable, very fast, and they have like a little hint of intelligence. It seems like they could track blood. Some of them use weapons. The animation is outstanding, very smooth, very detailed characters, and some of the characters, like the main character, has a non-standard design to me, in a way, like with glasses and stuff. That's usually not what a main hero does.
Right.
And he's also much more of a thinker than most of the hot-blooded, shonen type of main characters. He's an inventor for one thing, so that's part of his plot point initially is him trying to come up with a new weapon because they use steam power for everything, including they use some kind of steam gun, which is weird because you already have gunpowder because they have these little suicide bags that they put over their heart to pop it if they've been bitten and infected. It's considered a curse by the people at large, except for the main character who thinks it's a virus. It's trying to treat it scientifically. The music's okay. I haven't the theme songs haven't really gotten to me yet, like with JoJo or One Punch Man or even Dragon Ball.
Right.
And aside from the gunpowder, which was being used since before the Industrial Revolution, in our history, we don't know how their history works yet. They also say that the zombies can only be killed by their hearts being blown up. But decapitation seems to work just as well. We haven't seen signs of like the ones being decapitated,
Still walking around.
still walking around or picking up their head, put it back on. However, it's very difficult for most people to get that close to them without being killed.
Right.
And some of these plot points might be revealed later on. Like I said, it's not fair to try to judge plot holes after just 2 episodes.
Right.
And yeah, it's pretty fun though. It's good. It's a good series so far. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
That sounds neat. Especially I guess, I mean, yeah, similar to Attack on Titan. I mean, the thing that cued me off was that they had all these big fortresses built to keep everything out, and it's like, well, that's basically what Titan was.
Well, look at the
walled
weaponry too.
cities.
Look, it's like steam powers on the back, or steam powered equipment on the back. They have guns attached to stuff like the swords.
Steampunk. It's steampunk.
It's steampunk, yes. In Attack on Titan, they had gas. They used gas power.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing, and that's 2 of the main characters. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. I haven't learned them yet.
Oh no,
So,
is Japan running out of original ideas too? No, I'm just
oh
kidding.
man, it could be.
I'm just kidding. Well, that sounds cool. I'll have to check that out. You said it's being simulcast. Where can you watch it?
On Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
I mean,
okay.
Amazon Video, but if you have Prime, you get it for free.
Yeah, I have Prime.
So,
okay.
What's going to hurt you to watch? 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, no kidding. What kind of is it? Dubbed or?
No, not yet. No,
Okay.
it's brand new. So it's subtitled.
I have a friend who's a purist and says that dubbed is for sissies. So and it kind of ruins it.
It depends. While some dubs are inferior to the subtitles,
Right.
then you get some voice actors like Goku right now is voiced by an elderly lady, so he doesn't sound as tough as like our Goku, and the screams don't have the same impact.
I gotcha.
So some people trade them off, but yeah, there's a lot of purists out there. I'll watch them, however, as long as I enjoy them. In fact, I think Shin Shin's better than the regular subtitled one because it's more my humor, kind of offensive type of stuff.
Right. So. Well, I took some advice of yours because you mentioned it last week, and
bad advice.
Some really bad advice, honestly, because the addiction is real. I got Stardew Valley this week, and pretty incredible gameplay. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's something that's had especially in the handhelds, had a gaping hole for a while. It's basically, like you explained before, Stardew Valley is a farm simulator almost, but like a relationship and adventure type simulator all mixed into one as well. So it really scratches a couple itches because I really love the Harvest Moon games back on the Game Boy and moving on forward. I actually haven't played one in a long time, and this is scratching those itches, and so much so that I was like, well, can I get this on the 3DS? And unfortunately, you can't right now, but they are really pushing to get it on a handheld and other devices as well, so consoles. I mean, the game runs with a 360 or an Xbox One controller on the PC if you need to use it. And that's how my son plays. He also got addicted and is through his first winter already, so he's gone through 3.5 months.
Those months pass fast, especially summer passed for me like that.
Especially when all you're doing is tending to your crops. You got to learn to do other stuff too.
Yeah.
Get those upgrades for the watering can first.
Yeah, you got the romancing. I've branched out very, very slowly. I've been using technically I guess in some ways it's called a step system where I plant short crops and then long crops.
Right.
And then I just keep letting that way I've always got money coming in.
Right.
Now I've got chickens, so I'm getting the eggs. And between foraging and mining, have you gone to the mines yet?
That is what really scratched my itch this morning. For 3 days straight, I watered plants and then ran to the freaking mines. And if you didn't know, the pathway above your farm is actually quicker to get there than the way through town. So
you also can get some extra goodies up there.
Yeah, and what I really, really, really like to have is that damn minecart already.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
But those things are, that's where this is a difference from Harvest Moon, and I think it would have been neat if they would have had this. Though I know it's kind of like that in what is that, Rune Factory? I think
Rune Factory though.
Kinda.
This does it better to me than Rune Factory.
Oh, for sure.
Because the combat in this, while it's still kind of unorthodox to me in a way, because it's just a farming game is just not designed for like quick responses.
Right.
Rune Factory was far more punishing. The monsters were faster than you were.
Right.
And this it's pretty balanced out.
What I'm really amazed about is this is made by one guy. Now, I'm going to preface this with the fact that he uses most of the assets from Starbound, which is another game that's released by Chucklefish. He uses like a lot of the hairstyles and the clothing and how that's all set up is very Starbound-like, which took from Terraria, which was conceived because of Minecraft, things like that. But he used, if you look, a lot of the same assets that that Starbound uses for the character. So it kind of looks the same as what Starbound does. So
yeah, that's what I thought. It reminded me of some game, and I think it was maybe Terraria that it initially reminded me of. Because I haven't played Starbound. I know of Starbound. Right. I've seen people play it. I just haven't played it.
That game's a lot of fun, and it's what I wanted out of Terraria. I always felt like when I finished a map on Terraria, having to go create another game map kind of sucked. I understood the point, but at the same time, this Starbound incorporates that space travel, and they're about to do a 1.0 launch here in, I think, the coming weeks, with a full quest system and everything. Finally, I've had that game for a long time, thanks to our good friend Scott. He had bought me a copy and part of a 4-pack, so that game is a lot of fun, though.
I can never get into Terraria for some reason. I don't know if it was just. I got it on like the 360 or the Xbox One. I don't even remember which. So that might have been part of my problem, PC, Master Race. But I just could not get into the controls of it. Like, I thought they were like cumbersome,
Keyboard and mouse are way better than the controller on that game. So.
It could be, but it just wasn't enough for me,
Yeah. Though I've heard that the 3DS version of Terraria is very good. A very good control scheme because you're basically using your fingers and mouse, but whatever. But anyways, yeah, Stardew Valley's got me hooked. Got to finish this show so I can go play later. No. I'm only on day 7. I haven't even gotten the damn dog yet.
Well, come on. How many times have you restarted?
I have restarted twice, and I'm probably going to restart again because there's a lot of things that I just found out reading through a newbie tips thread on Reddit that I should have been paying attention to, like the little worms that you can dig out with your hoe. So,
well, yeah. I don't know. I've stuck with 1 year so far. I've been playing. I play maybe a week or two at a time.
Right.
So I'm just trying to let my failures be my failures, my successes be my successes. I've just gave up on fishing because it's too random of chance for me,
supposedly, and that green bar will get bigger as your level for fishing. Which I thought that was neat too. That the skills actually have levels to them to make things easier. So
yeah, well, it kind of remards me of Harvest Moon 64 in that way, where you could level. Well, you didn't level up, but your equipment did, and so you could charge up your hoe, and you could tile three or four rows at one time,
and you can
as opposed to just the one at a time.
And you can do that in this too. But the harvesting has the skills have other things, like things that you can craft or
that
like fertilizer and stuff like that. So.
Oh, I've been crafting like crazy. I mean, you got to because it's
chests everywhere.
Well, it threw me off guard when I had to not only pay for the stuff being built, but I had to supply the supplies.
Well, that's
why I'm giving you 10,000 gold.
That's what Harvest Moon was like.
You might have to supply the wood, but not
money.
But that's a little different than having to supply the copper and the clay and all that stuff.
But that's the neat thing though, is that makes it that much more engaging. You want to do those upgrades. So.
Oh yeah, they definitely help out.
All right. Well, let's put a dour end to the banter. It kind of sucks, but we haven't reported deaths in a while, and these were pretty significant ones. The first one was the artist formerly known as Prince, the artist known as Prince, whichever form he was currently in.
Yeah.
Passed away this week due to I think they said unknown causes as of yet, but the autopsy's underway.
Yeah, one of the initial things I heard was flu.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But somebody had supposedly Will Smith had just talked to him the night before
Oh
and
wow.
things like that. So we don't know yet. They haven't released anything,
And he was
and there's plenty of conspiracies flying around
yeah.
right now.
He was only 57.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these people are dying young. Two of these, in fact. So Prince and then China, the former wrestler and porn star, and also actress, and I think she did some other stuff. But she had some spats with depression, and she was on all kinds of.
She had a lot of issues.
She had a lot of issues, unfortunately, and she was only 45 years old.
Yeah.
That was rough. I heard about that. I was like, oh god. I remember watching her on wrestling when I used to.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, was it a car wreck or something initially, and then when the reports finally came out,
overdose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, this is one that I'm sure she got a lot of her time out of the way, anyways. Doris Roberts passed away as well, and I don't remember how old she was.
I think she was 89 or 90. I think 87, 93.
Keep guessing. She was 90.
90. Did I say 90? I think I said 90. Close to it. I said 89.
Yeah, 90. That sucks too. She was great on Grandma's Boy and Everybody Loves Raymond and everything else she's been in.
Yeah, she's
Grandma's Boy was hilarious because it was one of those that you didn't really expect from a lady of her stature. You know what I mean? Because
she's used to playing either sweet or overbearing mothers, grandmothers, and she was still sweet in the movie. But she did some unusual stuff in it that I'm sure. I don't know, but and like you said, she lived most of her life. Unfortunately, unlike China and Prince, they were still cut down before their time. But I know personally, I don't care if I was 1,000 years old. If I was still able to move around, I wouldn't want to be dying yet. So.
Right. Which can only mean everybody's. Of all the people that are on death watch right now, everybody's still waiting for what's her face? Oh my god, drawing a blank all of a sudden. Rose from what's her name?
Titanic?
No.
Rose
Golden
from
Girls.
Oh,
what's her freaking name?
Oh, Betty. No,
Betty White. Yeah.
Betty White.
And
she did pass away.
Didn't she? I don't think
she
so.
Passed away yet? Okay. Maybe I thought that was
she's
one
still
of the
alive.
rumors.
She's 94. So yeah, well, she's always been rumored. So
yeah.
But all right, well, why don't we move into what we got in the news? This first article's kind of sucks, but at the same time, there was a plus to it.
Yeah, in a way. So there's going to be no more Michael Keaton in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and so all that hype and excitement from last week was a little premature, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if that means if he's still in for Beetlejuice too.
I don't know. Maybe
I heard that still had problems too. So
that's an excellent question. So early talks supposedly have fallen through. Unfortunately, I don't know if they released the specifics on why. Maybe time constraints. Maybe they weren't paying him. Maybe he didn't like the character they were trying to push for him to play. But Robert Downey Jr. has been added to the list of characters that will appear.
So my question to you is Iron Spider?
Iron Spider would... it could happen. We'll have to wait to see what happens in Civil War.
Should it have happened before Civil War, or was it during?
What, Iron Spider? He was given it to. What happened is that the Avengers got disassembled. Right. That was when Scarlet Witch went insane and killed off most of them. So the Avengers were disassembled. Then came along the new Avengers. Tony Stark realized that Avengers are still going to be needed during a prison outbreak that had like Daredevil, Spider-Man, Captain America there. Luke Cage was there. So he reformed a new, smaller Avengers team. So after a while, they all moved into the Avengers Tower or the Stark Tower, which we've seen in the movie several times.
Right.
And Stark kind of took Peter under his wing because they're both geniuses. Both have had kind of troubled childhoods, whatnot. And he eventually gave him a new suit called I guess the fans really dubbed it the Iron Spider suit, which was armor. Gave him some tech stuff. We never really got to see its full capabilities, I think, aside from the 3 Waldo legs, which weren't really supposed to be used as legs or weapons. They had cameras built into them, which Stark also built in equipment to monitor Spider-Man's vitals and how his abilities work to deconstruct them. And he even built it to trap Spider-Man, if need be, which we found out during the Civil War when. And that's when he realized Peter's smarter than he thought, because Peter Parker had taken the armor apart eventually and taken out all those fail-safes and codes, so he couldn't just shut down the armor.
Gotcha. Yeah, we discussed that before, but I figured it's interesting. Maybe that might be the plot. You know what I mean?
Well, it would be like, since Civil War's already happened, by the time this movie's come out, I don't know if the Iron Spider armor will be needed anymore. I mean, maybe he'll use it in the movie, maybe won't. And, I just don't think we will. Maybe we'll see a reference to it, because there's a couple of armored Spider-Man suits. There was a silver one that he used for a while. Well, he used it like twice. Then somebody froze it and shattered it, so.
Oops.
Yeah.
All right. In this next article, we've got Chinese Superman, huh?
Yeah, I don't know when this character was announced, but I just saw the article where they were discussing how they came up with his name. That initially the first name they'd given him was too Japanese or whatever. So they were trying to find one more of a Chinese variation, but with the same like inflections.
So how many Supermans is that now?
This will be arguably the 3rd Superman. We have the New 52 Superman, which is the kind of the douchey one, the one we've talked about that he was losing his powers because of the solar flare. We have the classic Superman from pre-New 52, who has been kind of sitting out. He's been helping on and off. I've been meaning to buy those comics, though, because it seems like a really interesting premise.
Do those two inhabit the same universe, or are they?
Yes, they're currently in the same universe.
Okay.
In fact, when the Justice League first gets together in the comics, in the New 52 comics, they're fighting Darkseid. This classic Superman was there on the sidelines without anybody knowing, ready to jump in if he was needed.
Right.
And that puts a whole new perspective on the thing, because he's arguably as powerful, more powerful than the current Superman. I don't think we've seen his limits yet, really, but it would have been cool to see him jump in with his far more experience than even technically this universe's Darkseid has, who's an immortal god. But supposedly the New 52 Superman's dying right now, thanks to what's happened in Justice League, or Superman Doomed, I think it was.
Is this the one that's wearing jeans and a t-shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
The one that we talked about, that he lost his powers and he had to go like with civvy spandex, so to speak. So here's my thing. So they worked so hard on coming up with this character's name and everything. Why didn't they take all that energy in trying to come up with a unique name and come up with a unique identity instead? Why call him? And here's the thing for those that can't see, it says Super Dash Man instead of Superman, one word. And I guess that's the limit on their creativity with this. We can't do any better than Super Dash Man.
Well, and especially in a time when people are crying for diversity, especially in movie titles, for actors and stuff like that, which we'll get to later. But yeah, in that time where we could be, and that was, who was that? That was Stan Lee that was quoted as saying, "Make new superheroes."
Yes.
Why aren't we? Why do we have to keep using the same ones?
Here's the thing. They could say, "Hey, I want to have Superman's power set, but I want him to not be a Superman." Well, okay, do it. Just say they had some Kryptonian cells. They reverse engineered him. Who knows? That could be the origin for this character. But don't name him the same thing. I don't know what you could have named him off the top of my head. I don't know. Like, it depends on what is he going to be, like part of the Chinese government or for the people? Name him based off of that, or if he wants his own identity. I don't even think there's been an Ultraman yet in this new 52 universe. There has been Ultraman in the past, besides just the Japanese version. there was an Ultraman. He had all of Superman's powers, but he could only use one of them at a time. So if he needed to fly somewhere, he couldn't use his super strength. If he needed, heat ray vision, he'd have to land first or put down the building he was holding.
Well, and we're at a point in human time, human history, where pretty much everything's being based on comics at this point.
Yeah.
They have this unique opportunity that they can set the standard and create new heroes. They listen, Marvel's making tons of money. DC, they're making decent amount of money. Branch out, make some new heroes. Start new stories. We have a new generation of people that are ready to be grabbed for reading. Look at a brand new number one for a new superhero. I know comic books aren't worth much anymore, especially the newer printed ones, but it's because we keep getting Superman, Batman, Captain America. They're getting new number ones all the time, and they're just reinventing the wheel, starting over again with the character. Start some new stories. I highly believe that a new number one for a new superhero, especially if it hits huge, would be worth money. They have this unique opportunity that they can make a change, and they're not doing it.
And here's one thing: people are saying, "Well, we've had a white Superman for 70 years." I'm like, I respond with, technically, no, we haven't. We've had an alien.
Right. He's
not white. He's not Caucasian American or African American or Chinese American or whatever. He's an alien. He's Kryptonian American. Is what it should be classified as.
Right.
And I stole this quote. I wish I had the grabbed the guy's name, but he nailed this pretty well for me. I grabbed it from Comic Book Resources forum. This guy I quote as, "Hi, we're DC Comics, and we just love to heavily cash in on the Chinese comic movie markets. The only problem is no one who works here has any creativity at all. So we're just going to make Chinese versions of American characters invented almost 80 years ago. Please enjoy our cheap Asian knockoffs of American characters trying desperately not to offend the Communist Party of China with our monthly hijinks." So that's another thing. If they're branching them specifically to an overseas market, then they're going to immediately have to limit their stories there because they ban everything.
Well, even with that, you get somebody involved with the history of China that's acceptable.
Yeah.
And create a superhero from there. I mean, superheroes were always of the people, for the people kind of thing.
Yeah.
There is no difference between the U.S. and China when you boil it down to that simple thing. We want superheroes to protect us kind of thing, It's not far-fetched. It's not hard to do.
Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking. I think this is going to be a cheap cash grab. It's going to last for like 15 issues, and then they're going to kill him off because it's shocking and crap like that. So I'm probably going to miss out on it. I'm going to be too busy trying to hunt down the first 6 volumes of the latest classic Superman's comic because that seems like they have an actually interesting premise there. Though I will say the art looks really good. If I did not mention that before, that cover looks good.
Mm-hmm.
The
art was great.
Yeah, the overall premise is dumb to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll leave that at that. But yeah, make new ones. But I mean, I guess the argument still stands that all the cool superhero names are taken.
You can always make more. Oh, you know what? I would even be okay with them reviving old superheroes. Like Marvel has an entire universe that they own called the New Universe or whatever, that of characters just sitting around that they're not using. They could totally pull some of those in. That would be neat.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine Howard the Duck being played by a Chinese guy? No, I'm just kidding.
Real quick, did you ever hear of Ultra Force? What are they? Ultra Force? They had a cartoon for a short while on USA.
Ultra Force, you said?
Yes.
Let me use the. Yeah, that looks like it.
There was one character.
Ultra Force Staffing Service.
There was one character. He was a kid, but he would mutate into a giant superhero, like a Superman character named Prime.
All right. Yeah, that's in here. Prime #1, Kevin Green was his real name.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I would love to see that character come back. That'd be really neat. And he had a whole team, like he had a zombie guy on his team that was able to touch stuff, kind of like Abe in the first Hellboy movie, where he could touch stuff and know it's like recent past and stuff. Yeah. That whole team could come back.
All right.
That would be cool. So let's just.
Yeah, let's move on to the movies. We got a bunch here, and especially this first one's kind of disturbing. But
I'm actually excited for it.
Oh God, what am I doing?
You gotta.
There we go. I forgot to turn it back up. How's that for your ear holes? And how about...
Actually, you got that one at like the right balance for me, finally.
All right. Jumanji remake on the way, possibly.
Yes. Okay, while one, I'm not really happy they're making a Jumanji remake. I'm actually kind of interested in the two people they are looking to cast. One they've already cast. So Dwayne Johnson, who you should know as The Rock, and Kevin Hart, who you should know as Kevin Hart, may be heading to Sony's remake of Jumanji, according to Variety. The Central Intelligence stars are in early talks to join the film. Well, The Rock is, as of today, he signed the deal for the film, I think. Well, yesterday.
That's cool.
So,
they look...
The Rock...
I was going to say, for that Central Intelligence movie, it looks like they probably had a lot of fun doing that, so...
Yeah, The Rock seems to be up for just about anything. He is... I don't know about the quality of all of his films. They're like... But he is in everything right now, and... it's a smart move on him. Bash in, hit all the movies while at your high point, and then, once you stop making box office bank, just drop out. Hey, man, I've made mine.
Yeah, bye.
It almost reminds me of the story of one of the James Bonds. He made his James Bond movie right, and then started selling around the world. By the time he got back to shore or whatever, he realized that they had been searching for him to make a new James Bond. They couldn't get him, so they got somebody else to do it.
Are you talking about Lazenby? Are you talking about Lazenby? George Lazenby?
It might have been him.
He only did one movie.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because that's what happened to him.
That's funny.
And he was like, oops. So so whoever replaced him, he said, he made sure to tell them you have to make more than one or something like that. It was hilarious.
I got you. So anyways, continue.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
The report claims that the studio is moving forward with a deal despite the actors' busy work schedules. No details about the roles have been announced yet. Jumanji is based on the Chris Van Allsburg original 1981 children's adventure book, Jumanji, which was adapted into a successful 1995 film starring Robin Williams, Christian Dunst, David Alan Grier. I forgot he was in that. I love David Alan Grier. Yeah. Bonnie Hunt, Jonathan Haidt, and Baby Newsworth. Jumanji tells the tale of a 12-year-old boy who gets trapped in the board game in 1969, only to be released 26 years later. I'm thinking that The Rock would probably be playing the action hero. He'd be like the one sucked in as a kid and then come out. But I guess they CGI off the tattoos these days or whatever.
Yeah. Makeup.
Yeah, so it's going to be directed by Jake Kasdan and written by Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner. Yep, Pinkner. They're planning to shoot the release date July 28th next year, and the shooting is supposed to start this fall.
So, confession time?
Yep. You've never watched Jumanji.
I've never seen Jumanji.
You've never seen Jumanji?
Maybe I owe it to the late Robin Williams to actually sit down and watch it now.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I've never watched it. I always thought it was silly.
It is silly.
I understand.
Good.
But, I think at the time, when did it come out? When did 95?
95.
I was watching more adult movies than kids movies. So
I was watching movies of all ages. I don't care. Well. I saw Terminator 2 when I was 4 years old in theater. So,
but that's an adult movie. That's
I know. And I was seeing everything.
Oh God.
Whatever was on.
All right. Next thing we've got. Ghost in the Shell whitewashing fixed. This is pretty. We talked. I think we talked about it on the show, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah. Especially like Ming Na Wen came out and said, no offense to ScarJo, but hey, this is really terrible for the industry. Especially with the variety of people. Well, that she didn't say that, but especially with the variety of actresses we have around the world now.
Well, the funny thing is that they have this massive cast of Asian actors. I don't know what the proper term is. Some are Asian, some are Japanese, whatever. And she seems to be one of the only white people in the cast.
Yeah.
They got B. Takashi in it, by the way, who I love.
Yes.
You've ever seen Takashi's Castle or Most Extreme Elimination Challenge?
Let's see. Where did you go?
I just jumped. I just put that out. You start from the beginning.
According to Screen Crush, the studios were so concerned with by the criticism that they toyed with the idea of digitally altering Johansson's appearance. Screen Crush reports, according to multiple independent sources close to the project, Paramount and DreamWorks commissioned visual effects tests that would have altered Scarlett Johansson in post-production to shift her ethnicity and make the Caucasian actress appear more Asian in the film.
Okay, who is going to say, "Oh, that's not ScarJo. She looks Asian"? And what was the logic behind that? Oh, well, they turned her into an Asian person. That's okay. It's CGI yellow face or something. What the
CGI yellow face? Has she even come out and said anything? Or I'm sure she was advised not to.
Okay, to be fair to her, they probably said, "Hey, here's a movie. You're going to be playing a cyborg police officer. It's called Ghost in the Shell. You're going to have purple hair, and you're either going to be wearing a leotard or nothing, depending on the rating of the film." And she said, "How much is the check?" And they said, "It's this much." She probably just signed her name.
And she's like, "Well, I use 100% of my brain, so
yeah."
If you haven't seen Lucy, see Lucy just so you can say you saw probably one of the dumbest movies to date.
It could have been cool if they had done it some other way, but it didn't. Okay, no, never mind. I'm not getting off on another tangent. Just keep going with this.
They go on to name Lola VFX, a visual effects company known for giving actors digital plastic surgery to appear younger and or thinner, as the studio that carried out these tests. However, after the tests were developed and reviewed, the idea was rejected immediately. I wonder if this is the same company that made Michael Douglas look 40 years younger in Ant-Man.
I was wondering if they were the ones that did it for X-Men 3 when they had the young Magneto and the young Ian McKellen.
Oh, yeah, that actually looked really cool.
Yeah, that did look cool.
All right.
Michael Douglas's voice just sounded too old to be coming out of that young face, though, in Ant-Man.
Well, even still, not only did they make him look younger when he was in the younger scene, but they made him look younger when he was in the older scenes as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's not looking the greatest these days. He's getting up there, man. I think he's... Oh, his dad's still alive, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyways, when they reached out to Paramount for... Oh, yeah, when... who are we talking about? Screen Crush.
When Screen Crush,
reached
out their sources.
Reached out to Paramount for comment, the studio responded that there was some truth to the story. A test was done related to a specific scene for a background character, which was ultimately discarded. So Scarlett Johansson's a background character. The official statement reads, "Absolutely no visual effects tests were conducted on Scarlett's character. We have no future plans to do so."
So they probably just had some, one of the white actors come in, and here's my thing. I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Screen Crush doubled down on their claim, adding, our sources maintain Johansson's character was specifically the focus of these tests, though they were done without her participation or knowledge. I mean, they didn't need her to be there.
Yeah, no, they had already filmed some or whatever,
yep.
or they have her in still shots already. And here's another thing that's been popping up is that with the Doctor Strange, we didn't really talk about... Well, we talked about this months ago when they first cast Tilda Swinton. As the Ancient One.
Yeah.
And that she's a really good actress, so she could, play the Ancient One very well. And people were like, well, you whitewashed that Asian character. What's wrong with whitewashing this one? 2 reasons. 1, Tilda's a far better actress. 2, unlike the Major, who's, written more realistically, the Ancient One, when he first originally appeared, was overwhelmingly Asian. Almost every Asian stereotype was there. So they probably were trying to do the same thing they did with the Mandalorian, where they didn't include him because it was
They
it
still
was
need
just bad.
they still need to do a Mandarin
I would like I
dub,
would
yeah.
like
An
him.
actual one.
Yeah, I would like to see a real version.
Yeah.
Less Flash Gordon, mean the merciless though. So,
I
so
got you.
and another thing, the Ghost of the Shell writer has come out and said that he approves or she approves. I forget who it is of ScarJo acting in as the major. So, but I'm always like worried about that kind of stuff because they probably got paid pretty well if they're creative, of course, for the
Right.
rights. I don't know how the Japanese rights work like that.
Right, right.
So and it would be different for Ghost in the Shell if it just took place in a nameless city, but it's made very well that this is occurring in Japan.
Right.
So and then having all the rest of the cast being non-white to me, it's like, well, we accepted that it happens in Asia, but we wanted this white actress. And yes, we know that she's a cyborg. She could be in whatever body she wanted.
Right.
But what chick wouldn't want to be in Scarlett Johansson's body? Heck, what guy wouldn't want to be in the body? So there's all that too. But I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
I guess we'll wait till the trailers.
Do you want to read the next article about
Yeah, I'll
poison
take
ivy?
it.
I mean,
So we got a lot of pictures this week about new designs. The Power Rangers new Rita Repulsa design has been revealed, and it looks different. It's like they went with the exact opposite
no.
of what she was in the
You
show.
didn't read that right. It was looks ... different.
Yes.
You mean looks like poison ivy? Possibly.
I was. You might
Is
not
she
know her,
really-
but there's a character called Moondragon in Marvel Comics. She reminds me a lot of Moondragon, except she has hair. Not
She
blonde.
looks really dirty too.
She looks very sharp. She's very pointy.
Yeah, don't touch her. You might get hurt.
And
Let's fix
she
something.
does. She looks dirty and stuff. Why'd they make her dirty?
Yeah. Well, she just crawled out of that box, so
That's
or
true.
That jar.
That celestial trash can.
Yeah.
After 10,000 years, she's free. I'm getting a lot less magic.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot I had that on there.
I was hoping you were going to cue it up. So it looks less like Alien Sorceress and more like Alien Martial Arts to me. Kind of like why am I forgetting her name? Guardians of the Galaxy. What's the character's name?
Gamora?
Huh?
Gamora?
Gamora. Why? How? Kind of like a really more Moondragon to me. And
Right.
You'll have to Google her so you can see. But maybe this will be cool. Maybe she'll still have the magic abilities or the super tech or whatever, and that maybe she'll actually fight the Rangers herself. Because it shows that she looks like she's holding a whip type of thing. Maybe it's part of her braid.
Hey, is Moondragon what's her name's sister?
No, not Karen Gilliam in the
Yeah.
in the movie. No, that's a different character.
Nebula, sorry. That's her
Nebula,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to derail you.
You're good. So yeah, I don't know. It's one picture, and I want to like it, but I don't like it. But then there's aspects to it I like.
This last part.
I'm just confused.
This last part here is kind of interesting because that means, what's her face? Why can't I remember her name? Elizabeth Banks is taking on a lot of different roles lately.
She says even says this is the first time I played a supervillain, much less an alien supervillain or something.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you're used to her in the like 40-year-old virgin and crap like that.
She was also in Hunger Games, remember?
But yeah, that's what she's been doing lately. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Her roles are changing from the stupid teenage and early 20s movies to more mature roles. You know?
Well, not necessarily mature roles, but she's banking less on her looks, which she looks good, and more on her ability to act, which she's a very good actress.
Yes,
she's very good at a character actress.
Yes.
And there's not that we don't have that many really good character actors right now that can put on the makeup, especially no offense to females. I don't see that many that fit those roles well lately.
Right.
Especially, we harped on it last week, but the Ghostbusters thing, they they feel like they're trying to play themselves or be themselves, and as opposed to
being the Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yes, their Egon doesn't feel like the Egon, or like how Harold Ramis's Egon was, which was very stiff and proper, and
Yeah, she's not. She's anything but. And honestly, what is her name? I can't. I can never remember people's names right now, especially the newer actors. But she plays a really good Justin Bieber. If you've never seen those from Saturday Night Live, you should go look them up. They're pretty hilarious. But all right, well, what about this next one here? This is kind of interesting because we're getting a lot of the veteran actors getting involved in these movies as well.
It's like a weird trade-off that they've been trading each other back and forth. But William Dafoe is going to join the Justice League films, it looks like.
I just want to say that I'm really happy that you grabbed this picture from Boondock Saints.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I said I've got to have. There's a weird William Dafoe picture. I've got to pick one.
There was that.
So I just googled William Dafoe weird, and that one is one that popped up. I said, that's it.
That's when he was explaining there was a firefight. Maybe it was one guy with 6 guns. No, that's ridiculous.
It's obviously it's not the best picture to show of him.
Yeah,
but it's just so great.
He's been doing amazing things lately too.
He's always been doing amazing things. When hasn't he not done amazing things? Well, except for Spider-Man.
Supposedly, he's already signed on for the 3rd Boondock Saints movie.
I don't know. Okay, so back to the Justice League. William Dafoe, who played the Green Goblin in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man franchise, will join the cast of Justice League Part 1 in a role that's being characterized as a good guy part. No word on whether Dafoe will interact with his Spider-Man co-host J.K. Simmons, who was cast as Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon. The Hollywood Reporter has said that Dafoe is playing a good guy in a role that will see him appear in both parts of the Justice League movies. But has no further details. The story is careful not to refer to Dafoe as a hero or superhero, likely indicating that his good guy credentials come from somewhere else, most likely a heroic civilian that works alongside the Justice League, which there are some, or maybe somebody that doesn't necessarily have a superhero title.
Maybe he's involved in somebody's origin. I
don't know what all they're going to, because if it so feels like this is going to be a messy movie. If BVS is anything of an example, it's going to be a messy movie, I feel. Because they've got so many origins they're going to have to try to discuss. Unless they just throw them in there and say, hey, we're superheroes. We're going to superhero now. Okay, scrap that. So, since he's played so many villains, perhaps they just wanted to keep people from getting too excited about the prospect of Dafoe playing a classic Justice League foe. Which, I don't know, and maybe he's tired of playing villains for a while. Maybe he wants to play a regular hero.
He's going to reprise his role as a homosexual FBI agent. It's within his depth.
I mean, I don't see much that William Dafoe couldn't pull off. No, he's definitely a good actor.
He's one of my favorites. He was great in John Wick. And he was also great back in the day playing the character John Clark in the Tom Clancy series. I can't remember if he actually showed up in Patriot Games, but he was definitely in Clear at Present Danger, which is basically where he got his start. He was with the SEAL team that was working in South America that had the plug pulled on him, and Jack Ryan was in there to save the day with him. So,
well, I wouldn't know about that one.
Oh, you should see that movie. That's great.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know,
it's Harrison Ford, man.
Justice League Part 1, directed by Zack Snyder, yay, is filming now. It also stars Henry Cavill as Superman, Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and Ezra Miller as the effeminate Flash.
Hey,
he's got a mustache still. Why did they leave the mustache on him? It looks awful. His face is a freaking wedge.
Spoilers, it stars Superman. I thought he died. Spoilers.
Spoilers that if Zack Snyder thought anybody was surprised by that ending, he's stupid. The only person that wasn't... let me tell you, when Superman, Death of Superman happened in the 90s, it was on the news everywhere. They ran out of black ribbon because they were packaging the comics with ribbons that had like the S on there or
Right,
something.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So no, everybody knew about the Death of Superman.
Yeah.
It's what.
All right. This is the fun part. This is what I really like to see. Ubisoft is expanding its pre-orders to include its movies, guys. We are not kidding. In conjunction with Colonel, which has done a bit of this sort of thing with the previous Point Break remake. I didn't know that they did one for that. And the Fifth Wave, which
Did
I've
that
never
even come
heard
out in
of.
theaters? I thought that was straight to
It was
DVD or something.
no,
crap.
it was in for. I think it released the same week as Star Wars. Terrible idea, or the week before.
The only
Something
thing
like
that survived Star Wars was the Chipmunks movie.
Yeah, surprisingly. Ubisoft is selling a number of different packages that include a ticket with the movie when it comes out and some extra merchandise. On the low end, the $15 tier, which includes a ticket, a collectible watch, temporary tattoos of the two main characters' faces, and a digital copy of the screenplay. On the high end, the $1,200 replica of the crossbow prop used during the film. Dropping all that cash gets you a single ticket, however. Other packages include stuff like a 20-inch statue of Aguilar, played by Fassbender, an assassin-style hoodie, and a t-shirt. Assassin's Creed movies is scheduled to release on December 21st.
So,
hey, it's another movie that nobody's going to go see because Star Wars will be out right around then.
So who... First of all, if tickets are almost $15 already. So that means I'm not doing it. First of all, I'm not that big of a fan of the Assassin's Creed series. 1 and 2 were okay.
Right.
I didn't play the other ones because, first of all, half of them were half finished.
Yeah.
And 2, they keep pulling crap like this.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. Now, over in Japan, they do things kind of similar to this, where they, like for the Pokemon movies, for example, they had it where, like, if you went to the movie and whatever new legendary debuted in the film, you got to download to your game. They've also done like little things for like Dragon Ball Z and things like that. But I don't know if they have I don't know if that costs extra for the tickets or not.
Well, remember, Blizzard was toying with the idea of including a copy of the game with your ticket for the Warcraft movie.
But
that usually comes with a free month as well.
I thought it was already free up to level something or other.
It's free up to level 20, but usually the purchase of the full title to include everything up to the current expansion, because it's been so long now. And the new one's slated to release in August, at the end of August. The base game usually comes with a free month. Usually you get that in the price of the purchase, which usually is trivial because it always goes on sale for like $5 every now and then. So
quick question about that. Ubisoft, you're stupid. I hope this fails. And if anything like your next story we have about you, you're going to try to punish the viewer somehow. You piece of. Real quick. So you have to purchase like all the way up. Was it Burning Crusade now or the Legions one?
Yeah.
For WoW.
When you purchase the base game now, it should be all the way up to Warlords. So the current that's why I said all the way up to the current expansion. Usually once the game's been out for so long, even if you've been away for a while, you get the free upgrade, depending on how far into the expansion. And since it's been a year and a half or so since the last expansion, they usually start stepping it out to where now the base game includes even the newest expansion. Because they haven't been releasing new content anymore. That was within the first year. So, they make it free. That way they can get people to come back and then spend the money when the new expansion comes. So, which one of these days we'll see it get shorter, I think.
It's already so what do you think about this? They haven't even released a trailer to this movie yet.
Yeah, well, who's doing it? Legendary? Because they're terrible about releasing trailers.
Oh, that's true. Who is doing this? Assassins.
Yeah, I don't know. Supposedly it's going to be really good.
It's I'm looking.
Yeah, I mean, Fassbender's not really that bad of
Distributed
an
by
actor.
20th Century Fox.
There should have been a trailer already.
Yeah.
It's funny because Legendary is the only one that's terrible about releasing trailers. I didn't hear about that which movie was? Oh, I mean the Warcraft one. We've only gotten within the past month and a half, 2 months before, and now we've got an inundation of trailers.
Yeah, they need to fire their PR crew or whatever. Sorry, guys, you're failing on your job, and that's kind of a big thing. You've got to get the foot in the door, so to speak, and then let the internet take the rest of it. Do a couple of stupid things like how the Deadpool guys get. They should teach classes. We had
a Star Wars trailer a full year before the movie came out. We had a teaser.
I mean, it was like 3 seconds long. But we still had a trailer.
At least we got something. It got us interested, and then they started slowly releasing stuff as time went on. So I don't know. Legendary's broken. Let's go ahead and move on to the gaming here. We got a couple of things here. Sorry, I forgot to turn it down a little.
Oh, there you
go. Let me do the transition here. There we go. I love that. When he's making the egg disappear, that's what that sound effect's from. Daffy Duck's making an egg disappear. That boop. Yeah, that's what that sound effect's from. Minecraft Educational Edition is coming in June, and an early access beta as early as May to give educators a hands-on so they can give active feedback back to Microsoft. I almost said Mojang.
But I mean, they're owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, I know.
So it's the same difference.
But it's by the grace of God that Microsoft. They're saying that they're still selling I think 10 to 30,000 a day.
Yeah. Oh, they're selling several million a month.
It's an amazing clip for a game, that's been out for so long now. But anyway, it's the early access in May for educators to get their hands on, outside of the people that are already signed up as advisors, the earlier advisors that got in on the program. They're going to be able to get their hands on, see exactly what's built. The folks in Redmond have a few available so far. A few of the settings that they wanted to set up so far, including a tour of the Temple of Artemis, the Pyramids of Giza, pardon me, or the Anderson Shelter, which were supposed to be used to protect from bombs during World War II. Those are really neat, and this will be great for educational use. All they do is say, hey, look, we got to get this stuff going and get the this is what I want to gear my stuff towards. And there's plenty of stuff out there to give you an idea. People that have created stuff on their own.
Well, my thing is this going to be on rails, or do the kids each get their own screen, and are they able to explore the ruins or whatever?
I have a feeling that they're going to be given either on the same server, which would make sense, and everybody's got their own computer looking at these things, because I mean they've been talking about it for a while. Kids aren't going to enjoy this from the standpoint of, oh, hey, look, I'm watching this on a projector.
Or at the very least, they could tell them, the teacher would take a vote and say, which way should I go? Kind of like a choose your own adventure type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been neat. But no, I would obviously prefer each kid gets their own monitor that they can travel around. Maybe they could still in game have a little tour guide or whatever.
Right.
Or maybe they could go on their own archaeological digs in a way. A little tricky with the way Minecraft's graphics are, but it would still be a little more interactive,
Okay. I got you. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what it's. I have a feeling that they're going to be able to do a server thing where they can all look at it and walk around and experience it. It could be similar to. It's not creative and it's not survival. There's a third mode that. That's available to people to be able to make it to where you can't destroy things. Adventure mode, I think, is what they called it.
Yeah, there's something like that because what's that? Mine Z or something does it where you
Yeah,
can where you can't just tear down buildings or whatever.
right.
So
I mean, and basically, what happens with that? I mean, even on regular servers, you get the what do you call it? The spawn, the main spawn area on a map is
hmm
protected, so you can't destroy blocks around it and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, it's a neat thing. It's going to be great for educators, and they've been asking for it. Finally, it's nice to see them having gotten around to it. And I mean, with the popularity of Minecraft, like I said, I posted on Facebook the other day. I actually took my kids to the park to get them some outdoor time, and my son ran into another boy on the playground, and they just started talking about Minecraft and YouTube streamers. Amazing, talking about Dan TDM and I can't remember what the other one that he mentioned, but they're just going off. My kid's 8 years old and carrying on a conversation just about Minecraft and YouTubers. It sounded like gibberish to me. I'm starting to feel old.
oh, don't say that. We can't be old yet. But yeah, so I'm always glad to see more technology being put into the classrooms.
Right.
Obviously, who knows how long before we get the VR to
Yes. I can't wait.
VR headsets for everybody in the classroom. Now that would be cool.
Yeah.
Of course,
Ready Player One, anyone?
have you finished the book?
Oh, no. Go away. All right. Last thing here. Ubisoft has claimed that they're going to punish players for exploiting glitches and bugs in their game. More specifically, what has to do with the first incursion that they released. Was it last week now?
Yeah,
Or 2 weeks ago now?
the Falcon Lost or whatever.
Yeah. According to Ubisoft community manager, the team behind the division is looking into ways to punish those who took advantage of the exploits found in the Falcon Lost incursion. The exploits allowed players to bypass a significant amount of content in order to easily acquire rewards. They are really treading on some thin ice here. They currently are reimbursing people this weekend for those missed daily quests or daily assignments from right before the patch released. If you log on this weekend only, I think it's till Monday. They're going to give
I
you.
need to log on. Then I haven't logged on in a while.
They're going to give you 150 Phoenix credits. So, but anyways, the Division community, for example, on Reddit is responding in a very frustrated manner. Since Falcon Lost went live last week, the incursion and the Division servers in general have been experiencing abnormal amounts of lag, and it has been described as quite buggy as well. Exploits aside, one of the things they found out that one of the other bugs is that people were stacking talents, like they were switching weapons and it was stacking talents, and with people doing that, it was like actively DDoSing their servers.
Not only that, but they were having a glitch where you could get basically infinite damage per shot.
Right.
Just I don't. And how can you fault the players for that kind of stuff when your game is broken? You release it like that, you know. And sometimes using exploits are the only way you can get through certain things.
Yeah.
When you release a broken game, that's like Capcom coming out and punishing players for using the pause cheat in Mega Man 1. That was the only way I got by the Yellow Devil.
Right.
So, of course, I guess in a way they did punish Mega Man fans by not making another good Mega Man game in God knows how long. But
oh, sorry.
Oh no, I just the fans of this game, which I'm included in that, have tried to look past the bugs because there was numerous bugs that I was getting hit with when I first started playing it. Heck, there was things where like the enemy's bullets were going through the buildings and hitting me.
Right.
When I was supposed to be in a cover, not concealment.
Yeah.
And I die, so it's not my fault. Even if I move out of the way, they're still somehow able to hit me through the building. Because I was watching it.
Yeah.
And
it's especially disturbing considering the fact that they're so light on people that are hacking.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the most was a 3-day ban. They're looking to punish players that have used an exploit compared to people that, like I was running around the Dark Zone the other night and I was getting shot from somebody that was glitched inside the walls of a building, one of the safe houses in the Dark Zone. I couldn't do anything. Or yesterday, or was it yesterday? Buddy and I were running through the dark zone. Just guy like popped up on our screen, shot us both, was zipping around. Obviously not running, but was like teleporting and shooting us, killing us in like a few shots. Not even half a magazine, just a few shots. So they need to focus. They need to focus their fire on things that are actually destroying their game, rather than ways that have been inadvertently programmed into their game that they didn't intend. And which brings me to my final point: is they need to they need a test realm like WoW has, or any other MMO. I think even Destiny has a way of doing that stuff now, but being able to test the stuff before it comes out, because the developers are looking at their baby and it's beautiful, and they won't think of the ways that these players think of to try and get through things and cheat.
That's what the quality assurance people are for.
Well, but they suck. That's what I'm saying. They're too close to the thing.
Or either the quality assurance guys usually don't care. They fill out their report, they hand it back to the developers. The developers get mad, and they say, "No, it works as we designed it." Okay, and then it comes out and it's flawed.
Right.
If you've ever read Penny Arcade's The Trenches, have you heard some of the horror stories there where one guy, the game was so secret that they sent him to basically a barn and he had to watch video, like recorded video on a DVD of another person playing it, and write down the errors he was seeing during that.
Wait, which was that for?
That was from The Trenches, where they
oh, okay. Well, I mean,
and they share real life horror stories of the gaming development world.
Even better. An even better example was the limited number of people that play tested Batman Arkham Knight. Was that the last one for the PC?
Yeah.
What was it? 8 guys or something like that.
Yeah. Well, they got half an hour in. They got to go through the tutorial. Oh, the tutorial works. Game's good.
Yeah.
It's just, and plus it's like Ubisoft don't want to pony up the extra cash. They're looking at their bottom line and be like, well, they're going to buy it anyway. We've hyped it up enough.
Yeah.
Who cares if they return it later? That's not going to be on us.
And that's where Ubisoft, comes in, because Massive can only do so much with the funding that they have. It's Ubisoft that needs to put forth the money to make sure that their stuff's getting tested better. So
yeah, if this thing is supposed to be their next big thing, which is supposed to defeat Destiny and challenge WoW, and I don't even think it can take on the Old Republic right now.
Right. Oh God, the Old Republic.
Well, I don't know. That was the lowest one that I could think of.
No, I got you. It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah, I'm not a big MMO guy. You know that about me.
Yeah, no, I know. This is hardly the MMO. So.
Well, this is like Call of Duty's MMO.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But. All right, everyone, that's all we've got for this week. Thank you for listening, and please leave us feedback on our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere else you can get our podcast from. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, where we are currently talking to you.
You can contact us at ECG_podcast on Twitter, at our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/ECG podcast, which I've been posting a lot there in the last few days, because I decided, heck, I'm going to post a lot of pictures. Check out the Dr. Doom folder I made of 4 pictures. Or our email address at ECGpodcast. Go ahead. ECGpodcast@gmail.com. I did it right. I was messing up.
Okay.
I was thinking too hard. One of the few times I do. Also visit us at our webpage, www.stasisgeek.com. That's STASISGEEK.com, which we've been yelling at each other to write articles, and we have not. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'll put on there. I'm thinking of something. Well, like Jimmy said, post a comment. Well, we'll read it probably and get in the chat. We'll chat with you. Like Miss Melissa here. We said hi to you.
And we've got Free Comic Book Day coming up in 2 weeks, so we should have something good to put up for that. We may actually delay, that way I can get out there, because I know I was planning on going out for that.
Or just do a FCB day. FCBD day.
Right.
FCB day.
Right.
A short one, like a 30-minute one, or like a 10-minute one, or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Separately, that'd probably be better.
All right, we'll be back next week though. Until then, stay geeky.